when it comes to new Transcendence heroes coming out. It's impossible to test this hero in the end game. Now, it is possible, of course, in the earlier game, like a first Transcendence hero, maybe second or third, but it's like near impossible to test out and see, is this hero worthwhile? We've had that issue starting with Christmas, and we're still a week later, and we still really don't know how good this hero is. And there's a big reason for that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let's discuss new hero releases. So as you know, we can take a look at the newest hero. We can check out his skills. We can even see his sublimations and his destiny transition. However, if we're talking end game testing, I mean, you look at our account, they need to have a lot of divine power to even start comparing them to another hero. And it goes well beyond that, because the biggest issue, like legit, the biggest issue with wanting to build a hero day one is the fact that you can't even get a maxed out noble core as a mega whale buying out the entire event and hyper focusing on these chests, because as you guys know, if you're going after those chests, you're sacrificing divine power gems and scattered spirit vein because they are competing with them, and that just sounds like a really stupid idea. So at the very earliest that you can divine transition a brand new Transcendence hero, that's like a month after the hero even releases, and by then I feel like a hype for the hero is pretty much gone, because to be honest, I still think this hero has potential to be very strong. There's just no way in hell you're going to be able to test this hero properly. Because not only that, well, let's talk about the next issue you have. Look at this, look at all this. Look at all this. You see all this power in all these tenants and everything. So beyond that, you have to, number one, decide that they're going to be your main damage dealer. So that means like completely reworking your account away from an Aspen copy, which means all of these copies you have down here with really good awakenings, they just get pushed to the side, because then you have the newer heroes that honestly have the most garbage tenants possible. They're like all assassins and everything, and priests. And as you guys know, assassins and priests are the worst heroes to use as tenants. But even given that, that means you need to get all these different G-Ster copies, an Natalia copy, probably a regular Freya copy, and that's like not cheap. I mean, if you're buying good tenant copies, that's pretty much like 2,000 stellar shards, or not stellar shards, starry gems per each one. So that's like you're nearing like 10,000 just for that alone, not counting your main hero. Because again, if you want to compare your Lord of Fear Aspen that has that nice big old giant killer, well, beyond just buying the tenant copies, you're now gonna have to come over here and hope there is even an auction market, because to be honest, new hero might not even be up that much. Surprisingly enough, there are some really cheap budget copies, which really surprises me. Wow, there's a bunch of them. And I think it's because people summoned for this hero, especially last week, because there was a mini Soul Awakening Gala for Yorhm. They hit the copy, and then it just doesn't work out. There are a lot of copies on here. My goodness. I am honestly shocked. I did not think there would be this many. Holy cow. There's even a near perfect copy. I honestly wonder. I wonder if this is like one of Soul's here. But I mean, even look at this, an A+ going for 27,000. Like, this is bonkers how inexpensive Yorhm are. And again, it comes down to one situation. Nobody has a dang clue if this hero is even viable. But even saying like the lowest of the low, like if we go, oh my god, there's actually a ridiculous amount of Yorhm on here. Even if you go to the cheap ones, there's ones here for like 6,000, right? There's some budget ones to go for. That means you're putting it yourself between 15 and 20,000 starry gems just to test and see if this hero is even viable. Beyond that, I mean, the stellar shards you'll have, the sublimation you'll have, the spiritual essence you'll have. Even if you do get that noble core a month down the road, you're still gonna have to test to see if it's something viable. And it's like, I don't understand, because like, it's nice that you have the reset here as an option for soul symbol, so that's a nice way if you don't want to completely get rid of your hero. But of course, you still have to worry about sublimations, the noble core. It's just to the point where it's like, is this hero good? The answer is, I have no clue. You can kind of test them in the early game scenario where you're like, you're V4, you maybe unlock your tree. But to be honest, that's not even the best idea anyway, because you shouldn't be building a damage dealer as your first Transcendence hero. Shouldn't be until you get your second Transcendence hero. And even beyond that, again, the biggest issue with this hero here is the tenant situation, because there's no point even considering building this hero if the top 2 to 3 Transcendence heroes you're building beats out Lord of Fear Aspen. Because let's be honest, this is the most optimal route to go right here. Scarlet Queen Halora, Phantom Defier Lena, very solid heroes. Drake, very usable hero. Ankirimaru, very solid as well. Or you go Amun-Ra, since you might want to use it for pushing Sealand anyway. Until we get another amazing damage dealer that has this good of a lineup, it's going to be tough. Even Vulcan, like Vulcan is possible because it has Natalia and Sundevour Eos, but we're not getting many of these again. This would have been a perfect scenario if this had her there and then maybe a different type of support hero, not G-Ster. Really bad situation. And beyond that, he's not even that great of a tenant for anybody, but you're not going to want to build the damage dealer as a tenant. There's just so many issues nowadays with testing out heroes, or even considering it, because like as far as his skill set goes, Yorhm sounds amazing. He sounds borderline able to compete with Lord of Fear Aspen, but they did do one big issue when they designed heroes, and that is the fact that Lord of Fear Aspen's active skill is just godly against bosses. And usually if you're building a single target damage dealer, it usually has to do with some sort of boss game mode. Aspen just does it better. We need, honestly, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys want to raise your hands in chat or just say anything down there. We need power creep at this, because it seems like besides Betty, a lot of these heroes in between are just kind of like lacking. Support heroes, I'm cool with them being quote unquote lacking because they don't stand out or shine as much as other heroes. But I do feel like there's been way too many heroes that just feel not relevant, especially recently. Assassins, like, you have to overtune them to be godly single target damage dealers. Otherwise, you have warriors doing better things than them while also doing AoE damage. So it's kind of just a frustration I have right now. Wanted to share with you guys why we haven't done much testing, because even if we have an account that has like an S tier, they have almost Destiny transition. The biggest issue here at this point is if you take a look at the power difference in testing this hero, you go to your temple and you take a look at the gap, and we have heroes that are in the 9 to 10. They're literally dealing double damage. Just like, there's absolutely no way to test these heroes, and it's so triggering. So maybe next month we'll test out Yorhm. We'll have to see. I don't know if we'll make a decision and do it on our own account. It might be something fun to do, to just be like, you know what, we're going away from the Aspen route. Instead, we're going for the Yorhm route. Turn this back into a light army. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'll try to build something kind of relevant, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.